Morning. Good morning. How you doing? This is Kaylana, the blessed driver here. And so it is a little after 9 a.m. this morning. And so I just kind of felt led to do a quick live video, a Q&A, if you will, while I'm here in my car. I should have did it while I was upstairs, but I have to get ready for work and stuff here in a little bit. But I just kind of hopped out of bed and stuff. Good morning, guys. Good morning. I'm going to do a quick live video here because I kind of just woke up a little while ago and I had to stop by Starbucks to get me a green tea matcha latte. And with all that stuff that's going on, I probably need to look at the label to make sure it's all good. Anyway, good morning, y'all. Good morning. How y'all doing? Excuse my appearance, but I just kind of got up a little while ago. Just had to go into Starbucks to get me something to drink. But this morning I was thinking about actually it started kind of last night. I've been noticing that a lot of people are starting to get aboard on starting their own app-based gig company, and so it actually depends on the type of industry that you want to get into. And so I'm going to spend about maybe 10 minutes on this video or less, hopefully, or less, in case you guys have any questions or comments or anything like that. Because one thing I have been paying attention to, and this has been kind of like popping up, is that I see people starting their own app-based gig company, right? And so I've been researching, okay, which one do people find not only just as lucrative, but what do they find that will be more beneficial to consumers? And so one of the top ranking app-based gigs that you can start at this time, and I think it's going to be for a while, is probably grocery delivery. And I know I was doing a series of videos on those, and I apologize I haven't done any updates on that. And trust me, they're gonna come back. I promise you. I just been busy and I got a lot of other things going on. But yes, what I'm seeing is the grocery delivery service is probably your best bet if that's something that you choose to get into. Now, I know even when you want to do a rideshare business, that's something else you can consider. But right now, I kind of want to focus on grocery delivery. Now, there are other services that you can start. I have seen people even here in Florida, locally in Orlando, and they have their own concierge business. They have their own concierge service. And I know it can kind of be competitive, if you will, especially dealing with these app-based gigs like Shipt or Instacart. And then you also have, I think Amazon still does grocery delivery. I'm not quite sure. But as I said in a previous video, about maybe 3 months ago or so, that the grocery delivery business is very productive. And there have been grocery delivery companies that are local, maybe even in your state, that have been around for years, way before any of these app-based gigs have even come out. And so what I wanted to share is that you really have to start doing your research, because, and I'm so glad that people are starting to kind of get on board with this. Now, you have to understand that even if you do want to start your own, you are going to deal with competition. That's fine. Competition is normal. It's healthy. That's a good thing, actually. And so you have to make sure that your business is set apart from what other people are doing. And you may actually have your own clients. You may actually have your own, your own customers that you deal with on a regular basis, versus with some of these app-based gigs, you can't choose what shopper that you want, right? And so, which is understandable, because especially if the market is big, if the market is growing, you can't select who you want. And so, especially if it's that busy, which makes sense, okay? And so I also look at the economy. I look at what's going on within my region and my state, and wants versus a necessity. Those are some of the things that you always want to look at when you want to start your own app-based gig service, whatever it is. And and of course, people want luxury. And I think, to me, in my own opinion, the rideshare industry is kind of like a luxury. Even though people may need to get to work by using it, or get to school, they may have to get their kids around, or whatever the case is, or school, whatever. But I just kind of find that the grocery delivery business, you guys, is probably the most successful. And when I have been doing my research over the past few months, I've been seeing pop-ups now, like in different groups and different websites, like how people are starting to promote their own grocery delivery on-demand type of business. And I believe that that's going to be probably I think that's going to be like the most lucrative, but it depends on how you set it up. And, once again, guys, I apologize for not being able to get those videos out to you. And it's not intentional, I promise. I just been busy. I have a lot of other things going on, and I have my priorities in a different place right now. And so, as you guys know, I'm not just blaming the whole single mother thing on it all, but I have other projects. I'm a filmmaker, so that's what I've been focusing on. And then there's times where I'm working a lot, and so I'm trying to balance myself with that. But I would say you have to decide on your area. And I know some people are in very busy areas. Like I would say areas that are highly metropolitan is very good. What do you call those, suburban areas, living in the suburbs, especially areas that have lots of kids, like families, and especially because, they have families that are so busy, like when they're working, they need services where they can't take care of it on their own. Like, for instance, like people, like house cleaning has been around for centuries, right? But, you have only but so many house cleaning companies. And some people choose to only be with certain companies or maybe certain individuals to come and clean their house, right? And so I've been on different platforms before. Like I've been on Handy, and what used to be Homejoy is now Homaglow because they failed at one point, and now they're Homaglow, whatever. And they pay pretty good. I was making pretty decent money with Homejoy back then, but now it's Homaglow. So basically, you can set your own amount how much you want to get paid. If you want to get paid like between 12 and maybe $25 an hour, you can do that. And so, but the home cleaning business is kind of like hit or miss. And so because there's so many of those out there, but you can still do it. You can always sign up with these third-party companies that have software that allow customers to track, what you're doing, how far you are and stuff like that. And so you don't always have to have a lot of money to start up. You don't. Basically, you need to make sure you have your vision, and you write down your vision, and basically a business plan, pretty much, and things of that nature. And so it's really not that hard to do. But you can also get with some of these other companies that I have seen that are popping up now, and one of them I'm going to talk to you guys about, and forgive me for not getting back with you on that. I have to get with the owner and talk to her more about it. But basically, you're on your own, and you set your own hours. It's a grocery delivery company, and you have to kind of get your own customers and stuff. Even I think they keep only a certain percent. I think they keep like maybe 10% of what you would make from it, but you kind of have to go out. I don't think you're necessarily doing the grocery shopping. I think you're just picking it up or something. I can't quite remember. I have to go back and find the information. But right now, I just say that the top on-demand app-based gigs you can do that you want to start for yourself, I would say the grocery industry. And you have to also know how to implement their POS system into the software that you're using to be able to deliver. Now, there are a lot of programs out there that already have it already set up, and it's costly. But there's a way you can kind of get around it, but you still got to pay some money, you see. Or unless you want to implement it yourself, like, put in the items yourself. And that's kind of what Instacart did when they first started. A lot of people don't know that. But yes, they use third-party software. But what they did, honestly, when they first started, the company, they had individuals to go out to these grocery stores, and they would scan the items one by one. Like, I know that's so tedious. I mean, that's almost like doing, what do you call that? Merchandising. I think it's like auditing, like where they go out and scan items and, check I think it's called auditing or something like that. It's like, there's companies out there that do that. And I've done it like once. I hate it. You have to scan, like basically you come in the store late and you scan all the items and you have to see how many is in stock or whatever. It's crazy. But that's what they did. I'm not saying you should do that, because if you already have the software, because they can plug it in for you. There's companies out there that would do that for you. They'll plug it in for you, and you already have the inventory in the software, which is their POS system, because that's what they use. And so that's kind of how that works. And so excuse me. So that I would say try that. And I know a lot of people are considering, okay, which one should I do? Which one would be more lucrative? But I will always say, as I said in my previous videos, are you doing this for a short term or long term? Because, a lot of people start businesses based upon how popular it is at that time. It's a trend, and so when it comes to you starting your own business, especially of these types, you want to make sure that you're not doing it just to be a trend, but you want to set yourself apart and become successful at it. And if you decide later on, you know what, I don't want to do it anymore, you can always sell it to somebody else, and things of that nature. And so there are people who are trying to start their own delivery companies, and so there's so many, gosh guys, there's so many services that you could do. But in my opinion, I would say grocery delivery will probably be your best bet. But you can always tailor it to however you want. Any service that you want to do. Like I said, you have grocery delivery. I mean, there was a company, but I don't think they're around anymore. And they were specializing in I think it was like laundry service or whatever, where basically you would pick up people's laundry, you drop it off at the laundromat, or the cleaners rather, and then you pick it back up and you drop it off, things like that. And then there's of course dog sitting and stuff like that. But for right now, I would say the app-based gigs that you might want to consider is the grocery on demand delivery, if that's what you want to do. Excuse me, because I know a lot of people were interested in doing that and they were asking me and stuff like that. But the most important thing is, if you're interested in doing something like this, do your research. Because if you are not tech savvy, if you don't know how to build a website, if you don't know anything about coding, if you don't know how to build an app, there's a lot of third-party software that can do that for you. Or you can always go to Fiverr and hire somebody to do it for you, but you might need some money to start it up. But you don't always have to have a lot of expensive software to do it. Like I said, guys, there's a link that I'm going to share with you guys, either in this video or the next video to come, that there's a website I found that has like a database of all the grocery delivery companies in the United States. So like I was like, I can't believe there's so many of them. But they've been thriving, even though there's a lot of competition now with a lot of the app-based on-demand gigs, like, Instacart and Shipt and some of the other ones. And now people are ordering food now, they're ordering from, like, I think Blue Apron, and there's a new one called Sunbasket and stuff like that. But those are prepared meals per se. But then there's some that are ordering groceries, like, what is it called? I think it's called, not HelloFresh, but it's Brandless. And then there's Thrive. Thrive is more for people who are more health conscious and people that are vegetarian or vegans and stuff like that. So, but that's kind of separate. But those are some of the things you might want to think about, because a lot of people are gearing towards food service, because of course we need food to survive and stuff like that. But then you also have to think about your audience. Are you targeting people on a specific budget and stuff like that? So I did a lot of research here in my area in Orlando, and there are a lot of companies, and there are companies that are throughout Florida, and maybe even in your state, because that's something to also think about. Okay, am I in a state where people will be likely to order groceries? And that's why you see how Instacart did that. They started in cities that they knew were going to thrive, right? And then they kind of branched off to smaller towns, to smaller areas. And so that's how it became so busy. And, as far as with them getting customers. And so, but then you got customers that weren't happy with Instacart service. And so now they went to Shipt. And so some people aren't happy with Shipt. And so now they're trying something else. And so with this particular industry, I would say, like I said, do your due diligence, do your research, and then start a business plan and then work on that. And of course, you may have a service that may be just like somebody else's, but even though you may have a similar service or the same type of industry, you are your own. You're basically doing your own thing, and stuff like that. So like I kind of feel like, because people are kind of tired of it, like I said, I've been looking at what people have been doing. And I had even tried some of the apps out, and I've signed up for some stuff, but I never really fully went through with it, because I'm like, okay, this isn't for me. And plus, I don't like getting paid by PayPal. I don't like PayPal. That's not my thing. But, and also, would you be doing this by yourself? Are you going to have employees, or contractors, or how are you going to do that? And so, but at least for me, because I'm in Florida, like, we have, unfortunately, there's areas that have natural disasters. And for us, it's hurricanes. And it's not like something that we deal with all the time, but it happens. And so, people want to make sure that they stock up on stuff. And, but I would say the services that you guys can provide will have to be totally up to you. But, and if you guys have any questions, let me know. Like I probably should have just did this as a video instead of as it being live, but this just popped into my mind, and I've been thinking about it all morning. I just wanted to share with you guys, because I believe that some of you guys are already probably branching off to doing your own thing. And there are some people I've gotten their information. They sent it to me that they were on these platforms. They used to be with Instacart. They used to be with Shipt. They used to be with some of the other ones, and Uber or whatever. And they start their own now, and that makes a lot of sense. And I think that's a great thing. And so I think a lot of people are upset about these app-based gigs, and they complain. And there's nothing wrong with stressing your opinion, because I've done it. But I think at a particular time in your life, you're going to get to the point where you're like, you know what, either I'm going to get off of this and do something else, like a job or another career or whatever, or I'm going to start my own thing. So, don't start a business like this based upon offense, or if you're angry because of what they did to you. You know, make sure that you're starting your business because this is something that you want to do, that you know is going to be successful, that you know is going to benefit not only yourself financially, but also benefit the consumer. It's all about the consumer, because I know sometimes we think about us. Oh, I need to make money. I want, I want to be my own boss, which is great. But you got to also think that on the other side of that, there are consumers. There are people who are interested in your product and your service, and you have to provide the best service that you can. And so I will do more series and videos on that. But there's something I wanted to share, because there's something going on with Google. I know they're changing some things with their AdSense or whatever. And so, you know, the advertisements, I don't know, there's something going on with that. And so I'm fighting with them on some things. So anyway, guys, but I hope this helps you. And I'll actually do more. I'll be able to do more videos and stuff. But that's something that I keep feeling like in my heart. It's like, that's going to be a very good avenue to go down, is some type of delivery service. Not just groceries, there's also other avenues. Like some people just deliver maybe packages for people. You can also start your own delivery package business as well, you know, where you just pick up items for people. Or this is also a great idea. Maybe you know, maybe during the holidays you're willing to deliver, you know, gifts for people. I don't know if people will trust you with that, but that's something you have to think about. You might have to get some type of insurance for that, you know, and maybe pick up things for people, running errands and stuff like that. But you know, advertising is very important. Word of mouth is very important, and how you present yourself is very important and stuff. And I'm seeing a lot of people are pulling away from some of these companies because, you know, they're lowballing of us, you know, like they're lowballing how we get paid. They're not paying us enough, you know. And so once, how we were making maybe $30-$40 a batch, you know, or per order, now we're only making probably about 10 or 15, if that. And so you know, some people are pulling away and they're doing their own thing. And so, and I know for some people, they can't afford it. It may not be an option for them to hike up, you know, get $1,000 or $5,000 or $800 to start their own thing. And so, as I did my research, you don't have to have all that. You need to have enough. Like, you know, you have a car. If you have a car, that's a good thing. You have tools. You know, you have a cell phone. You need that, you know. If you're able to get your website done, you can do that. I mean, there's so many ways you can do stuff under $500. There's ways you can do stuff under $100. You know, business licenses and, you know, stuff like that doesn't cost that much. There's a way that you can do it. And so I just wanted to share that with you. I cannot believe it's been almost 20 minutes. It's been 17 minutes. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that. But I will, if you guys have any comments or whatever, once I get off of here, you're more than welcome to post the questions and stuff, and I'll try to get back with you guys whenever I can. I would like to add more into my website, but I have not updated a lot of it yet. And I know I said I would, but I just been busy. And so just hold on. I'm coming with that information. And so, but right now I would say don't just try to lean on to stuff that I am going to try to provide, but just try to do your own research and try to look and see what's available to you. And I would say, once again, the grocery delivery and those types of services are very, they're very needed right now. And so there's so many companies that are coming and going. And so you don't want to be like one of those fly-by-night companies where you're great for a minute, and then after a while people aren't using your service anymore, and then you go out of business. And so you want to make sure that your company is going to be solidified for a long period of time, and not just come and go with the wind, you know. And definitely ratings are important, because, you know, customers are going to always rate you. You know, they're going to people that are going to get on, like, you know, Google reviews or, you know, Yelp or whatever, and rate your service. And so you can't please everybody, but at least try to do the best that you can. And so start looking at some things and how you want to build your business. Start looking at the clients. Start looking at your area. Start even thinking about how you're going to advertise and promote your business, the software that you want to use to be able to track your deliveries, and how people want to communicate with you. You guys, there's so many companies out there that have third-party companies that you can use. Oh gosh, so many of them I can even name, that you can just use, and either you pay per task, as far as, for instance, like some companies charge, like, you know, monthly or annually, or you just pay per task, like 10 cents every time that a customer uses your app or something like that. So anyway, guys, I'm going to bounce. I'm going to get off of here. I hope this helped. This has been 20 minutes. I apologize. I didn't mean for it to be this long, but I got to go. God bless y'all.